Yeah. Good afternoon, everybody. We are starting the session now. Okay. So everybody, please, we request you to be on mute. Okay. If anything is there at the end of the session, we are going to have anyway question and answer session. Okay. Till that time, please mute yourself. And we have put a review form in the chat box. Please put your reviews so it will help us to conduct more sessions in the future and to continue this session right throughout the year, whatever we have given the calendar to all our edu projects client. So we will continue these sessions, right? So if anything is there from your end, you can put your reviews, or if you're really getting more knowledge from these sessions, right? Actually, these are going to be very helpful for all the preschool teachers, right? So all your reviews, whatever it is there, put your reviews so it will help us to conduct more such interactive sessions. Thank you. Thank you, Mitali ma'am. Yeah, now over to you. You can just continue.
Thank you, Pujana. Thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, so good afternoon, teachers. This is our second session when it comes to math or numeracy. So last time, as we saw, we discussed about different concepts and how do we inculcate math in our entire curriculum, not curriculum, but in a daily routine. Today, it is all the focus is going to be on shapes. Shapes, we all know these are the very first mathematical concepts that are introduced to the children, and that are, before even entering school, this is how, the tire, the wheels of the car are round, the plate, it is that this process starts right, at home. So we are here to just make that process of learning shapes more enriching, and the transition that is from 2D shapes to 3D shapes also very smooth. Because what happens, the I have seen many children be getting confused in this particular thing, that okay, if this is a square and a cube, how can there be a difference to it? But if it is explained well, it's a very the children get their concepts loud and clear. All right, so let's just start. We will be doing, you all know what all things we have in our workshop, and my personal objective for the workshops is to give as much as practical ideas, activities, games, and low prep games to the teachers so that they can do it in the classroom, and the children get the most advantage of it. Okay, so that will be there. We'll just touch through the theoretical part little bit, like, just touch through and go, and that's it, as much as we can do. And we'll be doing class integration also, as in how can we inculcate shapes. Like if you have a particular shape that you'll be teaching today, that is circle, how can we put it into storytelling, how can we put it into music and movement, how can we put it into the outdoor activities, different ways. All right, so we are going to start off. These are some objectives which I wanted to put across, and you must have gone through it by now. So I'm not going to read the topics. Let's just start. And I just came across this beautiful quote, that is, before children write letters, they recognize and create shapes. Of course they do. Like when we give them the crayon, and once after scribbling, the next step they do is they start scribbling like in circles. So they are doing shapes before anything. So let's just, and this is a quick and a small game, not a game, but an icebreaker thing for the teachers, so that yeah. And before going ahead, I would like to share that, like, since this gradual, like, this is our seventh workshop today, I have seen that now you teachers are getting involved a little bit. I don't have to, like, push into that thing that please do reply or write in the chat box. I'm thankful and grateful for that. So let's just go ahead. So teachers, you have to grab any object near you, any, and type in the chat box, like, what do you see? What shape do you see? Like if I picked up, for example, this water bottle, so I can see it's a cylinder. Okay. So what shape do you see? So you will first do it and write it. Most of them will be 2D shapes. So let's just write. look out for any object around you. You can be in your classroom, in your staff room, at home, wherever you are, any object, and just write. Just write what shape do you see. For example, I also have a poster here. Okay. So I can see it's a circle. And I have, yeah, circle, but what? Just write the name of the object. Like, for example, bottle, cylinder, box, cube, anything that comes to you. Yes, yes, come on, teachers. Yes, book, rectangle. Yes. Chal, I want few more, and then we'll go ahead. Yeah, tiffin. Tiffin can be circle, or tiffin also can be cylinder. Yes, square. Okay. Hmm. That is a cuboid. A bed is a cuboid. Pencil is a cylinder. Yes. Hmm. Bottle. Yes. It's a circle or a cylinder. Yes. Correct. Okay. Great. Great. So thank you, teachers.
Yes,
Thank you, teachers. Yeah. Done. Thank you. Okay. Okay. So now this is something that you can also do it in the class and ask the children that whatever shape you've introduced, what is it? So, and what could you ask a child about the shape in the class? So, what I'm trying to say is if you show them this particular bottle, so what shape can you see? What can you do about it? You know, something like that. And I'll also tell you if you have like in junior KG, senior KG, you can ask the children to also trace that thing. If you take a book and give them and trace the book, so they'll know, okay, it's a rectangle, but it has, you know, these many sides and everything and edges and everything. So it is also a cuboid. When you trace it, it is a 2D shape. When you see it, it's a 3D shape. So you can do that also because we've done it. And I used to roll out newspapers and I would give them objects, you know, like basket de do, jo lena hai le lo. Crayon ko bhi they would trace, anything they would trace. And we would try to identify the shapes. So you can try that. And yeah, so thank you, teachers. You can do this activity in the classroom as well when you are you know, when you are teaching or when you want to introduce a particular shape or when you want to have a revision. Now let's talk about the role of shapes in early math. Okay. Now, shapes are basically the foundation of early math learning, teachers. They help children to firstly recognize patterns, categorize objects. Okay, book is rectangular in shape. This particular plate is a circle in shape. They are categorizing the objects. Okay, they understand the geometry and the spatial relationships. About spatial relationships, I have kept some content on it. I would share that time. We'll talk about it. And it also helps them, you know, to build their visual memory. That if you ask them what is the shape of the clock in your house, so it is the visual memory. Okay, I've seen and it is circular in shape. So yeah, my clock is circle in shape. Okay, so these are the things that this is how shapes works into the it gets its way through the preschool curriculum, teaching basically for the children. So now key learning concepts when it comes to shape, these are the things that we have to remember. Like these are the tick boxes that we need to tick when we are covering the curriculum for shapes in preschool. First is the 2D shapes, of course. What are 2D shapes? What is the shape? What all things? Shape attributes. This is when, you know, you're talking about sides, corners, straight line, curved lines, everything, you know, edges. When you talk about 3D, we have edges, vertices, faces, all that also, just giving them a gist. Because what happens, I've noticed, initially I used to feel this is not needed for such young children. You know, why to talk about sides and corners and why to just keep it, you know, put it across like this, you know, why to complicate things for them. But I realized that what they had learned here in preschool, even when we spoke about sides or we spoke about corners also, I saw that when they went to grade 1, there was a very smooth process of understanding. ऐसे suddenly नहीं आ गया कि triangle, तो I know the triangle has three lines. This is how it is. But no, they clearly knew, okay, these are the sides, these are the corners, and it basically, it is there in their minds. When you give them the same information, similar information, it is faster to process. So it would be great if we can just give a gist, of things like, triangle has three sides. So if you keep doing that, if you keep talking about it, curved line, so cylinder, so we talk about it has one curved line, or what is it, whatever we are teaching them. Then we are also talking about comparison. So comparison, like it goes hand in hand with shape. Like give me the big square or give me the small circle. That way. It goes hand in hand. So this is what our key learning concepts are. Some classroom examples also I've put. Like I have found quite a lot of activities, and I have also listed down, I added what all we used to do, or what all I've understood from my colleagues, or what I've done with my children, or anything, what all came to my mind, I have put it in this. And some of the things, or most of the things, you all might be doing it, or so many things you may remember it, but you may know it, but we may have forgotten it. So it's just all there. uh Anything, whatever works for you, please take it, teachers, because this is, and my idea is to make low prep things. There may be some things that you may have to prep in shapes because we need those particular shapes, but apart from that, my idea was to make it as easy and simple for you all. So let's go to classroom examples. For example, find a circle game, what we just did right now with you all. You can do it in the other class. Shape sorting, like you can give them blocks, you can give them cutouts or anything. This is when, the children are just sitting during the arrival time. Also, if you've done a recap of, if they already know circles and triangles, and if you give them some cutouts as a recap in the arrival time, you get to know, it keeps happening. Shape walk. Now, what I used to do, this is a different thing what we have, like go on a walk around the class and spot the shapes. What we used to do, we used to have those huge masking, those masking tapes that we have. We would make circles, or we would make a rectangle or a square in the class. And then we would put an arrow that this you have to start from here, like one particular corner if it's a square. And the children have to walk on that line. So it was serving so many purposes. They were understanding that, okay, shape. So like square has four sides. So we are like, walking like from 1, 2, 3, 4. Then they are also focusing their eye and legs coordination is happening because they are walking. The balancing is happening. Their one foot going ahead of another is happening. So many aspects are happening together. So we used to do this. You can also do that. And apart from shape walk, I just remembered because of the shape walking. Now, see, this is what I found my ideas, but these are the images that I found on the net and I've put it. But these were some things that I wanted to put across, like sorting of shapes we have. Scavenger hunt also, like, when you do the shape walk, you can just give them a sheet where you have those shapes, and whichever shape you find, put a tick mark to it, anything. You can give this as an homework also. Anything, like this is how they also start observing their surroundings. So this is what the first concept what I mentioned was, like, what the role of shapes in math. Let's go ahead and do teaching shapes through play. Okay. Now, when you talk about teaching shapes through play, we all know preschoolers learn the best through playway method. So let us just make it more interesting. Let them enjoy and love the concept of shapes, and not just make it a thing that, okay, this is a square. Okay, I am done now. I don't have to know more about it. No, let them enjoy. Let them explore it around in their surroundings. So, yeah. So play-based ideas for teaching shapes. Now we have an idea like shape hopscotch. Of course, I have spoken about hopscotch. That is, we call it over here, we call it langdi. Like, throw a pebble and, jump over it and like that. So you can do that we've spoken about it in phonics also. You can do a phonic hopscotch. Here you can do a shape hopscotch. There is shape hunt also, like wo jo what we mentioned earlier. I'm not going to go about it. See, basically, if you come across some activities which are repetitive in this, it is because of two things. They are little important, and also they are in that particular category also it fits in. So I have put it. Okay. So I will not just explain that, but yeah, the names might be different as per the category. I'll show you the hopscotch. See, this is a different way which I found. Rather than that, those 3 squares and then 2 squares on top, and again that jumping over it and everything. We can do that. This also we can do. So this is what I found, and it was cute and interesting. So I've put it. Play-Doh. Play-Doh shapes is initially you can start off by just giving when you are doing 2D shapes, but Play-Doh shapes also helps when it comes to 3D shapes. We've done that, and my son, in fact, it's a personal experience. My son used to find it very difficult to understand the concept of edges or vertices or faces when it came to 3D shapes. And we tried using Play-Doh and some matchsticks, and we made that particular shape. And then we discussed, then, after explaining that to him, he got it just in a second. Like, he was like, I didn't even know that this was so easy. So you can start with Play-Doh when it comes to 2D shapes also. And then you do not forget when you are doing 3D shapes, you can use Play-Doh that time as well. I have put in a picture somewhere. I'll show you to what we had done also. Shape collage, give them like, pre-cut papers as it's written over here, like colorful, magazines, they do newspapers, they do, you don't need to go and have those specially colored papers for that, or, leftover gift wrapping paper, leftover, any paper is left. Just cut it into shapes and tell them to stick it, into inside a picture, like a mosaic kind of a thing or anything. It's there, I'll show you. See, on the left that you see, on your left that you see, you can see the Play-Doh concept that we did, like, making 4 lines for square and three Play-Doh lines for triangle. So they are learning the sides, they are learning, they know, I mean, if they are doing it and they are learning, they'll remember it, faster. And here on the left, sorry, that was on the left and this is on the right. So you can see build a city of shapes. So यहाँ पे we've given them some shapes, random shapes, and build whatever you want, or else give them an image and try to fit in the shapes inside that particular picture also, like a mosaic. That also you can do. Give them shapes as much as possible. Then we came across this shape face game. So use shapes to make funny faces, circles for eyes or triangles, rectangles for mouth or anything. But you can just twerk it a little bit as the way you want, and we can do it. And this is how it looks, and it's very interesting. Like, it's fun to do it, and children really enjoy it. Now I have some ideas that go grade wise. So for playgroup, what do we have for nursery, junior, and senior? And this you can increase or change the level of complexity as per your requirement, as per the need, and you know your children well, so you know where and what to put in. So if you have playgroup, then playgroup. If you're doing shape sorting like over here with colored baskets or anything, whatever you're doing, you can increase the complexity in junior for junior also, and that way. But I am giving you two activities each for each class. So first, shape sorting bins hai, songs hai. There are so many songs, or you can just keep making up songs. Like we used to do this also. Here we go round the mulberry bush. So when we were doing mulberry bush. So like we were like, round means how are we supposed to go? So we are see what kind of a circle are we forming when the children are holding hands, and look, see, we are forming a circle over here. Something like that. Then we would keep 4 chairs in the classroom, like, little at a little distance, and tell children to hold hands around the chairs, as in this is one chair and this is one chair. So the children are standing here. So like this, they are covering and they are making a square. So we used to make, and then we would just sing any songs or whatever we wanted to do. But We used to make them do these things during music and movement. Shape sorting bins, yeah, I'll show you. So ये दूसरा different है. यहाँ पे we've not done too much of tamjam, that is, no colorful baskets or anything, just simple paper cups उसमें ये किया है. And these pieces ना, I have this game also, wooden game, which I have used these earlier for my kids when we were doing this. Like, it's a rectangle that we wanted to show, a square. So you can use just those random pieces and you can make the children do it. Nursery, of course, shape hopscotch and Play-Doh. I've already said that. I'm not going to say anything. Mystery shaped bag, like give them a bag. This basically, the mystery bag idea came from when you're introducing letters also. This is not related to math or shapes. When you're introducing letters also, we would take a bag and put a goodie bag kind of a thing, and put all if it's letter A, so we would put an apple, we would put an so any airplane, toy airplane, anything we would put in that bag, and then we would shake, and then we would tell the children what is coming out, and that's how we used to do. But now what I associated here was put different shape cutouts, tell the children to put hands in that in the bag, not look into it, and tell them to feel the shape. So once they are feeling, the tactile learning is happening, and when they are feeling, they will be like, okay, this has four sides, four equal sides, and then they will say it's a square. So this works for shapes as well. Shape collage, I have told you, and I'm not going to share again. Shape puzzles, tangrams. Tangrams works wonders, and it's not only limited to senior KG. First, second, you can give tangrams, and there are so many patterns available, so many designs that you can make from that set of shapes, and it is super fun to do that. So tangrams are there, and shape detectives, as in find three circles here. Rather than only spotting one particular shape, you are telling them to find three of those, like rectangles dhundo. So they'll find a door, they'll find a window, they'll find some book. So this is what we are putting in. Here, this side, the one on that, see, I've put just a two-piece simple puzzle also. This is for the younger age group. And we have tangrams. This is not a tangram kind of thing, but this is like a shape puzzle over here, wherein you've given them shapes and you can keep the puzzle. See, like this, I have this particular, sorry, if it's visible, you can see. Sorry, the shapes are coming down. So there are different shapes, and they put it like this, and they try to fill the entire thing. And then there is a manual on which you have to put the shape in particular position, or next to each other, or in a way that you make some design out of it. So these also help. These are called shape puzzles. Then integration with other subjects. This is just like, while doing it, I just wanted to put in, we have another thing where you have integration, class integration topic, but this is just something that you can do. Mouse shapes or any books like that. I think I found the book cover. Yeah. So I'll show you that also. Then create Shape City using cutout papers, which was earlier also. Again, I've put it. And music, anything, come up with songs, anything, and it helps. So see, like this. This is the mouse shapes book. There is a book, it's interesting. And then we have Build City, which I've already put up earlier. So now teachers, if you want to type, choose a favorite classroom toy and describe how you use it to teach shapes through play. Like, just give me, rather than that, give me one particular toy in the classroom, which is like children's favorite, and how can you, which you will use to teach them shapes. Okay, just write the name of the toy also, that's okay. Anything, any object, any toy. You can write it in the chat box. If you want, I can explain one more time. Teachers, I want to, oh yes, teddy bear. Okay, ball. Okay. Beads also is nice. Beads is a good idea. Okay. Teddy bear. Blocks. Yes. Blocks. Blocks are like savior, especially when you are doing squares and squares and rectangles. The difference is also it helps through blocks. Yes. Ice cream sticks, magnetic tiles. Yes. See, there are so many ideas in the chat box if you all go through that. Some things you might be using it, something that you may not have tried yet. You can, of course, try. Yes, hula hoops. Yes. Clay. Of course. Of course. Yes, teachers. Thank you. Thank you. You can pour in, and teachers, you can go through it and, jot it down, note it down, whatever way it works, you can try it. But you can jot it down, there are so many ideas. Even I've got ice cream sticks. In fact, I kept them also ready today to show. Last time when there were two things that I wanted to show you. Since somebody wrote ice cream sticks, I wanted to just share. Remember last time when I was telling you that we used to write now when we were doing numbers or, any particular topic like addition, subtraction or something, I would write numbers like this, like this is for grade 1. Not grade 1, for my children, grade 3 now. 82 plus 12. So I would just write it. They have to remember it mentally. So for playgroup, for preschool, you can write, 5 plus 2 or something like that. And on another stick, like two sets of sticks. So on another stick, you can write the number, the answer, and they have to like find the sticks and match them. So it's like, it's an activity which they enjoy also. And it's fun that the math is also happening. And with ice cream sticks for preschool also, I have done many shapes. I have introduced shapes through these, like even though with patterns also, when it comes to zigzag lines, when it comes to sleeping lines, slanting lines, ice cream sticks works wonders. You can put it and like, zigzag. So like you're going like this, like you're introducing zigzag, so it goes up and down and up and down, and that way. For shapes also, introducing shapes, you can give them just ice cream sticks during arrival time and let them just, explore it as, let them just make designs, patterns, and, the children will soon, you'll see, they'll be making houses, they'll be making robots, they'll be making so many random things, cars and everything from these ice cream sticks, and it's fun to see that. So Play-Doh and ice cream sticks are like my go-to things, go-to toys or things that, when I want to teach shapes. So, and I got many, many ideas from teachers also. So you just read it and jot it down if you want, and you can use it. Let's go to 3D shapes and spatial awareness. What is spatial awareness now? Wait, I'll just start off. First, we'll do 3D shapes. So now 3D shapes basically have depth, height and width. Now ये चीज है जो objects हमारे आजू बाजू है, they all are 3D shapes. Anything that you see around you. So they are not like flat. Like 2D shapes means you see only 2 dimensions. 3 you see 3 dimensions. So this is what we have over here. Cube hai. So the 3D shapes that we typically teach the children here is cube. Then we have sphere, we have cone, cylinder, and cuboid. Cube are the squares, the boxes. Sphere is a ball. A cone is the party hats that we have. Cylinder is what we have is like, the bottle which I showed you. And then we have cuboid, our shoe boxes. I kept one shoe box also to show, like a cuboid. Yeah, so this is like, see, it has so many sides, play, everything like that. So this is how we do it. Just a moment, teacher. Now we'll do spatial awareness. Okay? Yeah. What is spatial awareness? Spatial awareness is the ability basically to understand where your body or objects are in space in relation to other objects or people. For example, prepositions, right? In, out, on, under. Yes. So basically, wohi spatial awareness hai when it comes to math. Like, where are the things? Like, where is the ball? The ball is under the table. where is the table? The table is next to the chair. Where is the chair? It is behind the door. Or where is the door? It's in front of the box. So where is that thing? ये जगह कहाँ है? Like where is your house? My house is far. So वो understanding कि कितना space occupy हो रहा है, कहाँ है, what is there in front of it or next to it or under it is what is spatial awareness. See, basically where the objects are in space, like next to, behind, under, how shapes relate to each other. So like when I'm talking, I don't know the rectangles. Okay. So here we have, and there is a square, okay? A square on top of it. So this is a rectangle and this is a square. I'm keeping it on top of it. So what do we understand with this? That the square is on top of the rectangle. So now when we ask children, okay, there is a rectangle over here, put the square on the rectangle. So they are understanding this, that on it means uske upar jayega, next to it, under it, anything, but they are understanding. When we do patterns or when we are doing some craft activity, we tell them, take a big circle, then stick a small circle on top of it, now stick a small triangle on top of it. So they are understanding that particular thing. So basically how to navigate through space, that is what are they doing. Like ye jo craft activity also, take a big circle. Now we tell them, okay, now take a small circle and place it on top of it. So they are doing that. They are building something. They are constructing something over here. That is spatial awareness. Now, why is it so important in preschool? First, yes, it helps in problem solving and math in later, like geometry and everything, and builds coordination and body control also. You'll see the activities and you'll get an idea what I'm trying to put across here. Then it supports early reading, writing, like letter spacing. So hum bolte hai na, like, okay, come on children, I don't want the letters to be very far away or to be very close to each other. There has to be like, for example, we also say there has to be some space between two words. So understanding that idea, like being aware that you have to leave that space, what is that space that you're supposed to leave, is also they get an idea. Like you're supposed to write the numbers within the box, anything like that. It is also, and most importantly, essential for safety also. If they get an idea, okay, there is a car coming towards me, I am not supposed to go near it because if I go, I may get hurt. So that is what also understanding comes to, okay, now the car is coming from here, so I have to move little away from it, away. Where away, how away, that's what we understand. Now, these some fun activities. Some teachers did mention teddy and teddy bears, and we can of course do this idea of hide the teddy bear and give clues, and they understand the clues, that the chair, that teddy is under something that we sit, or under the chair, or teddy is next to the bag corner or anything, like that. Simon Says also works. Simon Says also, when you have some free play or when you are doing some activity, we can do Simon Says also. Like put your hands above your head. We do that. Then there's a song also, head, shoulders, knees, and toes. They know what they are supposed to touch when you're talking about those things. Obstacle course. Abhi ye to hai na, like obstacle course. I used to do it. We used to have soft gym in the school where there's a tunnel and some a little slope or something, and we would change it and keep it. At home, when I wanted to do it with my children, we used to use pillows, sofa, or whatever we would get, and we would make an obstacle course. Like pillow hai, so you have to jump over the pillow. Then we keep a chair, so go under the chair, now climb up on the sofa, now jump down, something like that. So they are getting that understanding. Story with movement. There is a book called Rosie's Walk, which I was not aware, but when I was studying about this content, I came to know. So it's an interesting book which acts out directions. Like it's like a book for spatial awareness. I have put in the picture. You can just jot down the name or click a picture of this, and then you can look out for it. There are some YouTube videos also on this book, so you can refer to that or use it also. Rosie's Walk by Pat Hutchins. Now, another thing is shape building. Like, see, as I said, put the circle on top of the square using cutouts. Like these shape hunt with real objects. So, ask the children to find everyday 3D objects. Once you've introduced 3D objects, you can give them block plane, construct things like I want a bridge. So they know, okay, they have to build two particular pillars here, and then they have to build something on top of it. Like that works as a bridge. So niche is going to be empty. This is going to be on here. So they are understanding a spatial awareness and shapes go synchronize karta hai. I have a picture of the bricks, and see, this is how, something like this. Oh, block construction, sorry, by mistake I've repeated it. And obstacle course also, it got repeated. And here I found this another cute thing. And you can use hula hoops, somebody did mention. You can use hula hoops, you can use any big shape cutouts or anything that you have related to that. Use cartons, huge cartons jo aate hai, in Amazon parcel or anything. So those cartons also you can use and introduce the concept of, if it's a square one, use it as a cube or a cuboid, and they can understand and they can use it for obstacle course also later on. 3D shape sorting. So make bins and give them beads. Somebody did say beads, different shapes of beads. Here it can work, give them sphere, cube, cones, or whatever the bead shapes are there. So sphere or cube mostly honge usme. So you can keep putting it, sorted, so they are understanding the difference and everything. Next, we have a group project. I have not told the teachers to get anything because it becomes a little difficult when we are doing it online. So I have just kept some, I will just explain this through, and you do it as teachers or make a group and do it in your, with your colleagues or anything as such. But it was difficult to do it online, so I have not given, but I'll give you all the info on it. We are going to make a shape exploration box. Now, space exploration box, it should not be this, when we were given an assignment, while I was creating things, instructions for this, I remembered when I think I was a nursery teacher at that time, and we were given that you have to make a teaching aid or any particular uh, teaching aid on shapes for math corner. So I had selected shape, and what I did was I got the eggshells, not eggshells, but the trays in which these eggs are found. Like they have those grooves in it, so when you can put. And I had cut, like three and like 9 the usme, and I had colored those with red and blue and green or some colors. And then I had taken 3 shapes. I had taken circle, triangle, and square, and like red circles, blue triangles, green squares. And the children were supposed to sort it, and or the children were supposed to, and then initially I gave them the colored tray. So they were sorting the colors also, then they were sorting the shapes also. And then I removed the colored tray concept and I just gave them the tray, like simple 3 trays, and they would then sort it. So this was my idea of doing the exploration thing. Anything, you all might be doing it already, but it was nothing great, something simple, but we were supposed to do it in a day and from the things that were available in the class. So that's how we made it. So we will be designing our own shape exploration box. So basic things that you will need are some 2D and 3D shapes or cutouts or objects, felt foam or paper cutouts, anything works. Everyday items, like give them a spoon, a block, lid, anything, just put it in that box. Like for example, let's take a shoe box, and we are going to put, some squares, some cutouts. We are going to put, say the phone, and we are going to put the phone, and it's like a cuboid. Yeah. So we are going to take this and we are going to put it in this. So this becomes my exploration box. Let them see and recognize the shape. You don't have to go overboard for things. Texture shapes we use kar sakte ho. Now these are some ideas. Sandpaper works. Then you can take velvet cloth and you stick it on it on triangles and use it. Anything, different material, cloth materials, also fabrics you can use and you can do it. A mini booklet bana do, like give some facts or riddles to the children and they will enjoy it. Riddles are something that they enjoy, and it is, what happens, they are easily forgotten also. Riddles help children remember the answers or remember the concept clearly, but sadly, riddles are also that they are easily forgotten. Like, I don't know why, but they are forgotten. Even I don't remember. I wish I would have used more riddles when I was teaching. We have mirror. See, I found something. Mirror play cards. Now I have some ideas which you can do with your exploration box. So fold a mirror in half and show how shapes reflect. Sorting rings there. Provide rings or hoops and sort the shapes by size, type, color, whatever attributes you want to add on. See, for this year, I found this was interesting, where they have given a mirror to the child, and I liked it. I like the idea what the child is doing, so he's understanding the reflection also. And on the other side, which you see, this is something very basic. You don't have to do, and you can make it. And you can also use magnetic boards. You can sort it out on the magnetic boards also without doing much things. You just have to make cutouts, and if you have magnetic shapes, or else you can pick a whiteboard and put glue tack on it and behind it and use the shapes. Anyways, that works. You can also do shape movement cards, like cards that say spin like a circle, stand like a triangle, things like that, like anything. Then we have how to use it in the class. Now, free play corner exploration में दे दो, like let them just go and do it. Circle time games में डाल दो, partner activity, shape hunts, anything you can use it in the class. So this till now is we've reached till space exploration concept. What basically it is you know as I just said, it is something that you just take a box or take a basket or anything, put in things and keep changing it or modifying it your way. And it is fun to do it. Okay. It is एक बार का मेहनत है teachers. I know it's a little hard work, like cutting shapes and sort putting and planning it out. But once you are done, you are like sorted. You just have to keep changing or keep adding things as and when you progress through the academic year. So again, I found this cute thing. Math is everywhere. It's how we bring it into learning is that matters. Now we go to the next thing, that is classroom integration. Like how to put it, inculcate it along with not only during math time, but also during how to make it a part of their daily activity, daily lives. So now how to integrate math across the classroom. The first is literacy corner bol do, chalo reading corner hai ya literacy mein. Give them storybooks, ask them questions if they are reading, there's reading time, or you've given them books to just go through or read through, flip through. Ask them to spot out page shapes that you see on that particular page or anything, So this is how we can put in art and craft. There are thousands of activities we can do when it comes to art and craft for shapes. You can make collage. I have also made, many of you must have made, if there's Diwali, we've made triangular torans or those garlands that we have, like different things you can keep making. Stamps they do, cutouts they do, and let them sticking, basic sticking also you can make them do, give them a huge, like on a A4 size paper, draw a huge circle or any shape that you've taught them, and give them scrapes of paper, like crepe paper. I would suggest, if you can give them some strips, or just give them crepe paper or anything which is easy to tear. You can just tell them to tear it and then stick it. So they are doing it. So first tear it, collect it in a bowl, then take little glue in your pointer finger and put a dot on the inside the circle and stick those tear-torn bits of paper. And then if you want to make it more complex, you can tell them, okay, now take a small piece of paper crumple it. So do paper crumpling. So it's, it's their fine motor skills are at work. So we do paper crumple the paper and then stick it, and then complete the circle or whatever. So you are doing that, and it is you can do many, there are many ideas. Music and movement. अभी ये shape freeze भी अच्छा है. Like play any music, let them dance, pause करो and tell them now, like make a circle or anything, like together make a circle. Now make a triangle. How will you stand? Like do triangle with your hands, make a square with your hands, make a circle with your hands, or you do it anything as per your thing. But that is also a good game. Outdoor play, you can send them on, you can do shape scavenger hunts. You can also draw chalks, which we did, uh, hopscotch kind of a thing. You can use hula hoops here, jump from hula hoops. So like first two hula hoops, you can put it near each other. Then you can put the third one little further than that. So they have to jump a little higher. So this way. Snack time, call out for triangles that day when you introduce triangle in the class. Tell them to call out for circle biscuits when you introduce circle, rectangle, Parle G when you're doing rectangles, anything. So you can associate it, you can integrate it in the daily lives like this. Why all this, classroom integration helps. You must have seen that in the last class also, I did mention a lot about classroom integration, and here also I'm mentioning. It is basically they are learning, it is reinforcing. And if you see what we've also done in our books and the lesson plans that we give, we've integrated that particular topic in their entire schedule. So this is what our idea is. It builds real world connections. So they get an idea that shapes is not only a subject that is found, not only, for example, square is not only a shape that is found in books. No, it is found everywhere around us. So that's what they understand. That's what they connect. It supports language, problem solving, critical thinking. Yes, it goes hand in hand. Now there are some more shape and math games. I've sorted it age group wise. So shape sorting kara do, like cutouts rakho ready, and you can do match and shadow, which you see most of the things teachers you might be doing it, but I just want to add, I just thought of adding, if whatever helps, I would be more than happy. So shape sorting, we have match the shadow, we have circle walk, like what I said earlier. But now circle, let them walk on it, or walk in a, like anything, ring circle to, like there are so many songs also when it comes to that. Then we have for nursery, see, this is shape hunt. So this is a very cute thing, like, each child is given that particular thing and they have to spot. So if they've got a circle, so they have to only spot circles around. So they are segregating also, okay, this particular thing that I'm seeing, there's a frame on the wall, it is not circular in shape. So no, this is a rectangle, so it's not circle. Okay, they are differentiating the shapes also with this. And then we have Play-Doh shapes, as I've said. Shape sound freeze, I've said it. So this way. But this was a very cute thing which I found. Yeah. Shape puzzles they do. Give them and let them make that shape, figure it out that way. Build a robo. So you can build a robo like that. Mystery bag, I have said it. So build a robo is also a nice thing, Anyways, it's a that particular thing, the robo, is children are very curious and very interested in knowing more about the robo. So you can introduce shapes, like make them do some craft activity related to this. Shape puzzles are also nice. They are understanding how to fix the shape and how that, okay, this particular shape will happen when you when you fix the puzzles like this. So that's a nice thing. You can do that. For senior KG, tangrams. Trust me, teachers, add tangrams into your thing. Give them once in a while. Regularly also you can give, but you will need there are wooden tangrams available in the market, small sets. You can make it them also. It's a lot of cutting and everything, but work it out, or you can like encourage the parents also to invest a little bit also in tangrams part. 3D object sorting, like, this is what they can sort the shapes or spot it, and, anything like that. Give them, if you're giving them shapes like this, just like a worksheet kind of a thing, senior KG, to tell them to give them scissors, those, paper scissors that are blunt enough just for their, like, strong enough only, sharp enough only for papers, but it won't cut the fingers or anything. You have to be careful. But give them to cut these things and let them stick it and sort it. So it's like a long activity and something which will keep them focused and interested in this particular thing. Shape riddle games here. Give them shapes. See, now these are the two things that I found. This is what I was telling you about when I did 3D shapes. These are the sticks here. They've taken some other thin sticks. I had taken matchsticks. And with the use of Play-Doh, this is how we made it. So you can have a look at it, and you can also do when you're doing 3D shapes. You can construct the shape with them and tell them, when you're introducing the shape, that we can construct it in front of the children and teach them, make them do it. And it is such, it's interesting, very interesting. Then here we have another, like, this is basically, objects with objects, not only. So like spot out the here, you can see like there are so many objects that can be found of that particular shape. Let them roam around in the classroom or in the school, or give them as a homework assignment or anything, and let them search. Let's just ask some questions till now, teachers. If you have any doubts, you can let me, but I would want to know also some questions. So let us do one thing. First, let me just ask you a few questions. You can jot it out in the chat box, or you can unmute and also share. What is that one new activity that you're excited to try? Like I've given you like tons of activities. Anything that you found new which you would want to try it in your classroom, please share it in the chat box. Come on, teachers. I hope I have not made you all fall asleep. Come on, we don't have only like 5 minutes more. Okay. And then we can go ahead. Yeah. Play-Doh and matchsticks. Yes. Shapes hunting. Yeah, that was cute. Huh? Shape hunting was very, very cute. Play-Doh and matchsticks. Yes, please do. Jump on shapes. Uh-huh. Okay. So shape hunting. 2 votes for shape hunting. Ice cream stick shapes. Yes. Yes, yes. Come on, teachers. More ideas. Identify the shape, the mystery bag thing, identify the shape without looking at it. Okay. Cube activity, that is, I think you're talking about Play-Doh and the matchstick thing. Hopscotch. Yes. Fun activities, na? Yeah. More teachers, come on. That's it. Other teachers didn't find it interesting. Okay, yeah, jump on shapes. Yes, yes, come on. Crawling on shapes, like under it, and okay. I think that's what you tried to say, Dhruti ma'am. Next. Come on. 1 or 2. Tangrams. I was waiting for this. Trust me, tangrams are fun. And in fact, I have invested in travel sized. If anybody of you have young children and you would want to, then I have got a magnetic small set. It's not very expensive. Small thing of it's a book kind of a thing, magnetic book wherein there are magnetic shapes in it, and they have those designs. So when we travel, I often carry it for my children because it really helps if either you are in a train or wherever you are in a restaurant, and give them, and they are like at least learning something, they are using their brains, and they are enjoying basically. So for some time they are paying attention. So you can also try. Please put in tangrams try to put it in your school life also, and if you have young children, please put it in your invest it for that in for them. Drawing small mats. Okay, matchsticks. Yeah. Okay, share. You can, you know what? You can also go on Amazon and just write a magnetic tangram, and you'll get loads and loads of tangrams. There are wooden also. There are like small wooden trays also available with wooden shapes in it. That are also very good. Anything, just type tangrams also, or just type magnetic tangrams, and you'll get so many. Okay, so have a look. These are the I don't have the link because I had got it from a shop from nearby, but you can definitely you'll get it online also. They are easily available. Okay, next, which concept? Oh, yeah, shape, pattern, spatial awareness. Do you think needs more focus in your class? Come on, teachers. Which concept, like shapes in general, spatial awareness ke bare mein, or patterns? Yeah. Spatial awareness, yes. And spatial awareness is like, ek tir se do nishan types, because with this, they are understanding the prepositions also faster and it helps in their language also. So, yeah. Anything else? Any teachers, come on. Just few more. See, I've got so many options on what all things were interesting. Play-Doh is a hit. Shape sorting, make an exploration box or any bins. That shape sorting bins, which one of the teachers mentioned, you can use that as your space exploration box also. Shape exploration. Why do I keep saying space? I don't know. Uh, um, then what else I saw more frequently was tangrams. Yeah. Many things. In fact, all the teachers hopscotch also, chalk, make it with a simple chalk and do it. It is fun. Okay, next, all right, teachers, we've come to the end of our session. Pooja ma'am has shared the link of where you can give your feedbacks. Please do. We would really appreciate that. And thank you so much, teachers. Okay, before ending, if you have any doubts or anything, please do let me know. I am there. Uh, yes. Pooja ma'am? Okay.
Hello. Yes,
Yes,
ma'am.
Pooja ma'am. Yeah.
Yeah, thank you, ma'am. Thanks for the session. All the teachers, if you have any concerns, you can just ask ma'am. Okay. Whatever concerns you have, you can just unmute one by one. This is the first thing.